Late at night, Emily heard faint tapping from the attic. Thinking it was just mice, she ignored it. The next morning, she found a note on her kitchen table that read, "Thanks for letting me stay." The attic door was wide open, but she lived alone. In the kingdom of Eldoria, magic flowed through the air like wind, harnessed only by those born under the silver eclipse. A young stable boy named Finn, who had never known his birth parents, discovered an old medallion hidden in the hay one morning. As he touched it, a pulse of light radiated through the barn, revealing an ancient, glowing rune on his palm. Confused but intrigued, he sought out the village sage, who gasped upon seeing the rune. "You're one of the lost Eclipseborn," she whispered. "Destined to restore the balance of magic." That night, the sky shimmered with a silver light as the long-forgotten eclipse rose. The ground trembled, and Finn found himself standing before the legendary Phoenix Gate, said to be the only barrier between Eldoria and the Shadow Realm. With the medallion glowing fiercely, the gate opened. From the darkness emerged the shadow of a forgotten queen, her eyes locked on Finn. "Welcome home," she said, smiling darkly. "Your destiny awaits." On the mining colony of Zarian 9, where humans dug for rare minerals in the depths of alien caves, Ava worked as a maintenance engineer. One day, while repairing a malfunctioning drone, her radio crackled with strange static. At first, she ignored it, but the static began to form whispers too clear to be random interference. Curious, she tuned in and heard a voice, "They're watching you." Ava froze, looking around the dusty outpost. She was alone. Or so she thought. Suddenly, the lights flickered, and the mining tunnels trembled. From the shadows emerged sleek, insectoid machines, silent, otherworldly drones. They weren't built by the humans on Zarian 9. Before Ava could react, her handheld scanner showed the unmistakable signal of a distant ship, an ancient one, buried deep within the planet's crust. The voice crackled through her radio again, this time more urgent. "You found us. Now run." Before she could decide, the ground beneath her feet split open, and something massive stirred below. Every night, Tom heard footsteps in the attic above his bedroom. He lived alone and assumed it was just old house noises until one evening, the footsteps stopped directly above his bed. Determined to face his fear, Tom climbed up into the attic the next day. Dust covered everything, and the air felt heavy, as if it hadn't been disturbed in years. He found nothing out of place except for a small, dusty mirror leaning against the far wall. Curious, he picked it up and stared into it. His reflection stared back, but something was off. The figure in the mirror was smiling. Tom wasn't. Chilled to the bone, he dropped the mirror and backed away. That night, the footsteps returned, but this time, they didn't stay in the attic. They descended the stairs slowly, one creak at a time. When Tom looked toward his bedroom door, it opened quietly and he saw his own reflection standing there, smiling. The last thing Tom saw was his own face, stepping into the room. In the realm of Voltoria, the stars weren't just lights in the sky, they were ancient spirits, bound to protect the world from darkness. Every century, one child was born with the ability to speak to them. This time, it was a girl named Alara, who lived in a small village at the edge of the enchanted forest. One night, as the stars flickered like fading embers, Alara heard their voices for the first time. "The Lightbringer has fallen," they whispered. "The Shadow King rises." The next day, the sky was dim, and strange creatures crept from the forest, twisting the land with dark magic. Desperate to save her home, Alara journeyed to the ancient Temple of Stars, where it was said the Lightbringer's power still lingered. As she reached the temple, a shadowy figure awaited her, a knight cloaked in darkness. "You're too late," he sneered. But Alara raised her hands, and the stars responded, flooding the sky with light. The knight hesitated as the ancient spirits descended, filling Alara with their power. With a single word, she shattered the darkness, but as the light faded, she realized the stars had gone silent forever. The battle was won, but at a great cost. She was now the last voice of the stars.